Today, we play Best of One.
The only one in Best of One.
What? Genius axes!
Ta-da! Eurian. This is Standard. Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me at CGB and I got a video for the Rakdos enjoyers because hope is not lost. And in fact, your deck went from being very invoking of despair, just kind of very boring and lame, to being very fun, actually, because the core built around Breach the Multiverse, Itali, Primal Conqueror, and Chandra Hope's Beacon does big, explosive, gross, and gnarly stuff, all in the Rakdos shell of kill everything but then go way over the top. And I think it's a more fun deck. I think it's a more fun deck in Best of One. I think it turns Rakdos from being Arc Villain with Fable and Invoke into being more of the exciting pile. The card that ties it all together, of course, is Big Score. Being able to make the 2 treasures means you get to ramp up to Breach, which, you know, kill something, maybe even sweep board or play onboard threat the opponent has to deal with, then Big Score, and then Breach the Multiverse, maybe hitting Itali, maybe not, maybe Itali hits Breach, maybe Cruelty of Gix gets back Itali hitting Breach. It could all happen. Maybe you double Breach with Chandra. I don't know, but I do know it's really fun. So I highly recommend, if you're going to play the deck, you play a version something like this. This deck went through a few iterations. You'll see some cards come in and out of the deck through the recordings. Primarily Liliana of the Veil. I started with 2 copies, went down to 2, went down to 1, still drew it in, I swear, every freaking game, and eventually cut it entirely because it just doesn't do what this deck is looking to do. This deck is not effective unless it gets up to 7 mana. Liliana forces you to kind of stall out at like 5 mana because of the discard effect. The other card was the other Shieldred, not the Apocalypse, but the one that turns into the Saga, the True Scriptures. I tried that one. Nope. Definitely not. Stick to Cruelty, stick to Itali. So you'll see some test cards, but overall, this is the list I recommend. Now, let's dive in and let the dinosaur roulette nonsense begin. On the draw cut down, hopefully it carries us long enough to do some cool things. Yep, it's gonna have to do some work, but I usually save it on the draw in these spots for the 2 drops and the 3 drops that are usually better than the 1 drops, like this. And seriously, why? Just to say that why does this card exist? Just to say that Aftermath had something in it that got play? What a joke. What a joke to give like a human soldier payoff at this stage of the meta. What a slap in the face of all that is fun, interesting, and cool. All right, we got Harvester. I'm glad we drew something there. It was going to be a really empty turn. And so far we've curved out very well. 1, 2, and now 2, sort of 3, because the opponent's going to exile it. And we're going to discard... What are we going to discard? Chandra is very expensive, but it can take over the game. Let's drop the Shieldred because we can get it back with Cruelty. All right, 1 card left for the opponent. Make it a good one. Or don't. That would be fine with me too. All right, they're holding it. So we got Big Score into Breach or Beacon. Of course they have Adeline. No land, of course. 27 lands for Big Scores. Why would we hit? Let's hit the Duress instead. Ah, we got there. Go big or go home. Do we hit an Itali? We do. And the opponent gives us a Vindicator. Pretty strong. They might have a Brutal Cathar. Oh, speaking of the devil, another Breach and a Brutal Cathar. Oh, this is the reason I picked this deck. Oh, we got to do it, and we got to do it to humans. Yes. Yes. On the play, kill it, trespass it, score it. Let's go. Did you think Rakdos was gone? I'm right here. Did you think Mono Red was gone? It's right here. Cruelty of Gix, not a great draw for the situation. Double Swifty. Triple Swifty. Shuffler's fine. All right, give him the Trespasser. I wish I had the other Shieldred in this spot. My one-of is punishing me a little. Yeah, drop it. Drop something, anything. A mountain. Could have gone better. But critical mass is necessary, especially when triggering prowess. Nighttime acquired. Don't know if that will matter. The Dressed to Kill. That's not good.
Go ahead. Bite me.
It's a really good draw, to be honest.
I'm real stubborn. Let's bring things up to a.
All right, so before that prowess goes off, let's do a big score. Cruelty can get back a Trespasser. If we discard the land but don't draw into one, though, that could mess us up for going for a 7, and the 7 could be our salvation. The Shieldred's actually not that great here, and the Cruelty is probably a better play because it can either get back that or the Trespasser. Okay, it's gonna have to be a tally. That's asking a lot of our favorite DINO. But high expectations. No big deal, I'm sure. Here comes our DINO. And the hits are a cut down, that goes right here, and a Raiju. That takes care of the Chandra. And just like that, we're here. And we're ready to fight.
This went way different than I expected.
You and I both, Chandra. You and I both. They draw a flyer that gets us to 2. That must be nice. Another big score. So at this out of 3, it's just going to win the game next turn if we don't get rid of it. We could see if the opponent is willing to block with their Swift Spear, but at 19, I wouldn't block if I were them. If we get back the Trespasser, we can go to 3. If we get back the Shieldred, they just sacrifice their Swift Spear, attack and win. So it's on the big score. And I might need a reroll. Breach Brotherhood's End. Three damage. All right, what is a 2-mana card that they can top deck and attack with? I think the answer is Squee. There's a lot of things they can draw that end the game anyway. All they need is damage. Now we could go for a 2-turn clock here. We could also punch them to 12 and then have a lethal attack next turn that plays around a top deck Squee for lethal. Okay, what you got? They for once never had it. We take those. On the draw, double cut down into Lily or Trespasser. Sounds like aggro decks will be crying, but our opponent's giving me weird vibes. Lotus, Johnny, enchantments. Let's go. Look at all this removal. Rakdos still here to make sure Selesnya doesn't easily win. Without question, I'm going for the Weaver. The Fang is... it's a card. I'm down with it hanging out for a minute. Let's not even play the Harvester, though. They're gonna play more stuff we have to kill, so let's kill it. Companion is fine. Annoying when you have a Liliana. That's okay. The problem with Liliana, you do have to kill everything, so let's kill it. Embrace the villainy.
And I don't appreciate it. One of your friends has to leave.
All right, that wasn't a Hallowed Haunting, so we're doing okay. The borrowed time on the Liliana is actually fine. I don't really want to discard cards when I'm ahead like this.
With friends.
Here's my harvester. And go for the throat. Do we just take out a naturalist and not let the opponent have the reduction? With only 2 cards left, drawing into a third, I want to see what they have, since the harvester can kill the naturalist itself. I want to see a generous visitor. Sure. Last card. The Fang of Shigeki. Well, that's taking the naturalist out of range, so let's kill it. Let's kill the visitor. No more scaling up. Let's drop a trespasser. Let's start gobbling the graveyard. And their Death Touch Fang is a little bit of a headache. But if they pass the turn here, we get nighttime. Uh-huh. And they're playing around the Liliana. Actually, you know what? Let's keep the land. I got my reasons. And I'm making a trade I don't even like very much. But, I mean, we are a deck with 6 and 7 mana plays. Let's get our lands down. Let's not blood them away right away. Again. We are gobbling that graveyard. There's the Hallowed Haunting. There's the dinosaur. Oh boy. Drain him, get him. 9 life. Let's see how much they can do with that haunting before they die. It's a visitor. Itali. Let's do it. Roar. Bye. Bye. What were the hits? I will check as soon as they give me the little option. Don't you want to know? They didn't even want to know. I guarantee they didn't even look. Borrowed Time. There goes the Hallowed Haunting. And Big Score, which I can't cast. That's life. But, ta-da. Enchantments destroyed. Our turn 3 play is Brotherhood's End, so I'll keep it, but anything else I would probably mulligan just because it might be too slow against aggro. However, the opponent's coming in with Xander's Lounge. We're probably fine. Our opponent also believes that Rakdos is not dead. As long as they have some blue in there. Double Harvester is double dead thanks to Brotherhood's End. And there you go, 6 cards versus 4 going to 5. Pretty good for us. They drop a cut down, makes sense. Although I'm sure they know we have Harvester as well. They might just need the velocity, and there's Sheltered, of course. Beautiful draw. That's why she's here.
Happy to help.
For moments like that.
Sacrifices must be made.
Can our opponent do it again? Nope, it's Trespasser time. Graveyard as a resource. We need to get us some before it's gone. I'm really tempted, though, to big score for the land. We've got to keep the mana moving. I'm going to do it. Still might cast this Harvester. I'll drop one of these Trespassers. That's pretty lame. All right. Drop a card.
You won't be outsmarting me.
They're down to nothing. If we top deck a land, the Shieldred's really good. Of course, it depends what they top decked.
Well, luck favors the foolish after all.
Okay, what you got? Another Make Disappear, perhaps? A Chandra, wow. All right, please hit, please hit, please hit. Get wrecked. We also get this sweet double trigger, but then flip it back to daytime. In time to rumble with our opponent, who can't currently target our trespasser. And is the graveyard clear? I think I just take this in case they have a Sheldred. That's one of the ways that they definitely win the game from here. And now I have an answer to it. Oh, look at that. Just draw and get. Let's clean the graveyard again. I will be the one who gets the grave food. Nom nom nom. 6 mana, but no Chandra. We're still stuck on 4, but we drew both of our Chandras. That's magic. Little Nambo with the Sheldred. Eating their graveyard means we can't transform this easily. But usually it requires some combination of Breach the Multiverse anyway. How many dresses you play? Oh god. Magic the Gathering coming in hot. Had enough? What you got? Maybe it's time to discard to the board. They have now hovered over every land to play a Blade Coil Serpent, the best possible top deck. Good for them. I want to play some Blade Coil Serpent again, to be honest. This is insane. Actually insane. So I think they're going to reanimate and they're going to play Glutton. So I need to eat my own graveyard. They are at 7, so that's a trade-off. We still have powerful cards if we ever draw the land to cast them. But we weren't able to close the door, so all their powerful top decks are online. We could play Sheoldred. They'll just kill it. Let's hold it. I mean, 3 duresses, I believe, against me. Opponent literally only texts for mirrors. If I get a go for the throat, maybe I would play the Sheoldred. Odds are they're holding something because I have this Sheoldred. They showed us a Blade Coil, though. How many Blade Coils do you think they run? They already showed us 3 duresses and Make Disappear. Man, we're going to draw every top-end card in our deck before we draw another land, I think. All right, let's do it on their turn. I used Make Disappear on my last big score. Should we wait? Nope. Bravery. You can't have it all. Wow. Wow. Okay. They're not going to get rid of the enchantment. Now I've seen their hand. Next turn we get the tutor, which is probably for another big score, but we'll see what they do. A cut down. Another cruelty seems nice. And we'll stagger. Two cut downs. Hmm, 7 life, huh? 7 little life points. Clean that graveyard. Nothing to be worried about from the reanimation next turn, opponent. Nothing at all. And they scoop it up. All right. I played it probably really safe at the end. I got a little shell-shocked by how much of it they had, but that's the way it goes sometimes, and it looks like they finally flooded out. We are on the draw, go for the throat trespasser, but then some 7s. Hopefully we can get there. If the opponent is going to play the white value deck, then what's most important is drawing big scores so we can do the big powerful things. Because if we do that, we can go over the top. But as far as how the deck plays, they can get way ahead of us with way too many pieces. It's a very hard deck to control. Let's take the Wandering Emperor. I'm not going to do a great job clocking them in this matchup. So we've got a ramp. At least we're drawing enough land to get a good part of the way to where we're going. But man, would a big score be nice. A way to discard a tally in case I draw Cruelty to Gix would also be nice since they don't mess with the graveyard. You see the mono white deck is out ramping me right now. Liliana, not good in this matchup. Not even a little bit. I think we try to hold her to see if we can snag something. Like if we attack here, will the opponent block with farmhand? Maybe give us a little break. And then the Liliana can hit one of the restorations. Nope. Let's go to nighttime. We'll probably have to go for the throat the first Iganjo, give the opponent another chance to maybe block with one of these or both of these, and then maybe Liliana can kill something more meaningful. But it's a very bad matchup for Liliana. Much better if we drew Chandra or something like that. Okay. Huh. Well, at least they have to discard. We don't have easy ways to blow up enchantments anymore. That is the thing with Rakdos, right? Alright, let's make our 1/1. You think they drew another Wandering Emperor, or are they just gonna sit on that Reliquary? Down. Let's get Poisonous. How am I gonna take out the next restoration? Oof. It's a tough ask. It's a tough ask. Maybe if I set myself up to top deck a second cut down, that will do the job. Good lord.
I think this will be a quick one.
Yep, we're in a very bad spot. They're gonna kill the Might? Wow.
You're coming with me.
All right, gotta be better draws than we've had. That is not it. I'm conceding. I give up. I give up. Big score was so crucial to that game and we just couldn't find it. On the play with what looks like a really good hand. I'm really happy to be on the play, but I've had even the games I've been winning and the ones I've lost, the story's been the same. Stuck on land with 27 land in my deck and 4 big scores. So it's gotta be, at some point the pattern's gotta break and we get to cast the big stuff. Green white. We get to smash enchantments again. Sounds fun. Let's hold on to these and use Liliana here because this is right where we want to play her, and I don't really want to plus her too much.
A fight? And you think you can...
Hopefully we can find a trespasser to eat this before we kill another enchantment. Land is good. What's the discard? That is the tough job. I guess it's Breach. A little too expensive. Could tilt it in the graveyard. Oh my. All right. See what they do. See what they do. They're just trying to go to combat. Let's kill it. Hopefully they have some protection spell they try to use just so we can blow them out. Os for Lily. Well, that's good. Pretty happy about it. I actually want my resources to cast my big awesomes. Doggo. Yeah, that's an annoying one. Would have been great against Liliana. Obviously, I don't want to minus her against a dog. Oh, we might Chandra. We might Chandra go for the throat. Combo. Yeah, this is like playing Rakdos control, and I do love it. Okay, 2 creatures. How convenient. Two mana, any combo.
Let's do this.
Go blue.
Have a gift.
Copy.
No holding back.
Let's see if they have double ossification ready to go or some borrowed time. And hold Sokenzan. We might need it. Opponent gets back their toys because we didn't find a trespasser. And they scoop to Chandra because nobody likes anybody untapping with Chandra Hope's Beacon. I will kill your things and I will cast Breach the Multiverse. That sounds good and evil. Good and evil? Just evil. That just sounds evil. Uh-oh, spirits on the draw. Have we lost already? Spirits, I mean enchantments, but you know that. You clearly understand. Well, that's fun. Just adjusting a few volume levels. I'm sure you guys understand. They took my breach. They basically exiled it forever. If this game goes, you know, at a reasonable pace. Whoa! Michiko's Reign of Truth, huh? So what are they going to do next turn? They must have Hallowed Haunting, or why would they keep this hand? If they're going to play a Hallowed Haunting, we need to pressure them. All right, target my Trespasser, trigger ward. Go ahead, discard a card, I dare you. Oh no, they know how cards work. We're dealing with an A+ adversary. Ah, not a Hallowed Haunting, huh? And they're playing it into all this removal. Okay, they're audacitying now to make sure they draw a card. And they cost me my Go for the Throat. I mean, it's that or we just flip big score. If they remove the Trespasser, we have to spend our treasures on the Go for the Throat on the Naturalist. I don't love it, but I also kind of like them removing the Trespasser. So let's do it. Let's play defense. Racing this deck is never very good. They have so much lifelink. They play another one. Can they double spell to transform? Not yet. Okay. There's the Kami. It's a good target, and our second Trespasser can deal with it. It's got to be the land, even though we need them. Have to believe we'll draw more. We have 27 in the deck. It's heavy, but we don't draw more. If we cast the Brotherhood's End here, we can then follow up with a Trespasser to get the Kami out of the graveyard, but then we're down the treasures and a long ways away from using them. But I think we have to accept that reality. We're just not going to draw lands with this deck today. We're going to get mana screwed every chance we get. Some days are that way. That's enough for Startlefish. They don't want to go against that Trespasser. With the cut down, I think this hand is keepable. If we draw a second black, which is very likely, Liliana's online. Easy. If this is going to be the value mono white, nope, white black. Well, if it's still some kind of a mid-range value deck, we have to go over the top with the Italis and the breaches, and the big score is the perfect bridge card to do that. Don't think I just play Liliana and plus it though. This is a deck that actually needs its resources. Liliana is good for certain jobs like killing opposing trespassers, but you don't want to just get her out there and throw your whole hand in the graveyard and sit there with 4 mana doing nothing powerful. Our opponent is all basics Absan now, and I have no idea what they're up to, but let's pass it back to them and feel it out before going big score Itali. Chatmir's Garden. Just some kind of a ramp deck, I think. Maybe Sunfall up their sleeve. Two Trespassers. Okay. Chandra. Very strong. Let's attack. Don't think I'll hit like a big hasty or anything. We could try to draw out the Sunfall before playing Itali, but Itali just gets so much value just from entering the battlefield. Stomper and Harvester. Well, that is a juicy Sunfall. But we do get the ramp. And that feels good. And the blood tokens. Those can be good. Our next mission is to find Breach the Multiverse. Leyline Binding. That implies that they don't have a Sunfall. We love to see it. Still a mana shy of a Troxa if that's their end game, but they've got an Archangel of Wrath for the Harvesters. That's so nasty. Wow. What a card. What a card to have. Seems like a good spot for Liliana. Also seems like a good spot for Chandra. Could deal a ton of damage with her. The opponent will probably scramble to kill her, and if they don't, it's a huge amount of advantage. And we save Liliana for an Atraxa.
We'll burn Phyrexia to ash.
It's a good amount of pressure too. 4 damage to the face.
To Phyrexia.
If the opponent has another Archangel of Wrath, that can take care of her. But let's see. Ossification does it as well. Remember when just blowing up enchantments, like enchantments were just a trivial thing for this deck to remove? Okay, they are still at 10. Let's see if they do anything about this Stomper's attack. They're very close to dead here. We could play Chandra and get them down to 2. We can also get our Trespassers down now and take the creatures from the graveyard to get them to 4, which is in Chandra range. Going for Shieldred to get the 2 points when they draw is a little risky. They might have instant speed removal. The Trespassers are much harder to deal with. And yeah, we're a burn deck. Embrace it. Love it. Even without Invoke Despair. Norn. Norn, huh? Don't think that will save you. You need something else. They're at 4. They might have a binding. Let's just go for this. Doesn't look like it.
Time to light up the darkness.
Pew pew. Hope's Beacon indeed. Still a burn deck even without Invoke Despair. I'll keep Brotherhood's End on the draw. It's one of the only cards that makes me keep on the draw hands. Because if the opponent just goes creature, 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 sometimes sweeping it up can win the game. A little mulligan action and a brush land. 2-drop drawn, which is wonderful. Double brush land will kill them with their own lands. I think I actually want them to play out all their stuff and then Brotherhood's End. So hold the Harvester. Oh no, it's Calyx. Let's see if they put 2 counters on the Naturalist to play around the Brotherhood's End. They didn't. Life is good. They're a little worried about a go for the throat or something like that, I'm sure. Get 'em. Show enchantments what it means. What happens to those who just throw their hand on the table? Look at those brushlands. This is fine. All right. Shieldred tests you. Removal. Is that you? No ossification right now. Weaver. More like fodder. Complete with audacity. Do we go after him? It's always hard to race this deck, but I don't see any lifelink right now, and that life total is dwindling. And they take it. Wow. All right, cruelty. Let's use the whole thing. Whiff. There is an ossification. Do they draw the land? I can also tutor up Chandra into Chandra, which is pretty strong. That's not a basic, but it has lifelink, so watch out. They're at 5 though, so I think this is just over. They're at 4. Triple brushland. Oh baby, triple brushland. Yeah, send a message. Don't think it matters, but just to be sure. One, 2, 3, 4. Pew and pew. Burn, baby, burn. Chandra going face, is that a mistake? Oh my goodness, what a card. We'll try. I'm running out of things to say for opening hands. I think you guys get the gist. Thalia, yeah. That is definitely part of the gist. So 27 land. Well, I draw 3 though on the draw. Is it even possible? That's a really good draw for them. So wait, they're playing Shieldred's Edict and Thalia together? What the hell's going on here? All right, I'll play my Trespasser. We're gonna pretend spells don't exist for a minute. Okay, I'm glad I saved. And we draw the land. Yes! Thank you. Thank you, MTJ Jesus. The land was necessary. Plaza. Denny. Poor Trespasser. Poor Cruelty, actually. What do you think? Do they also run Make Disappear in their Thalia deck? What are they thinking about? Got a removal spell? You can use it now if you want. Look at that. That's why we have 2 in the deck, so when I discard one that I no longer want, I can draw the other. That's why we do it. All right, Denick, what you got? I'm coming for you. Can't target. See how you like the apocalypse. No counterspell. Absence? I'm down with absence. I like cards. Still don't think this is a standard card unless you're absolutely desperate. Ow! Indeed. And a breach that's too expensive to cast. All right. Let's score one for the multiverse. Gotta hit these land drops to be able to do the things we need to do through a Thalia. But right now we can cast breach next turn. Could have flipped the day night, but then I don't hit the land drop, which means maybe I end up losing a treasure down the line. So I think it's worth it. Having this as a 4/4 wouldn't matter too much. Oh, okay. We got a 1/1 to eat. Thank you. Ready to get got by a spell pierce. So some of you might be thinking that Denick keeps me from reanimating with Breach, but Breach doesn't target. Why would it? Now we do have to watch out though. If we get an Itali, we only have one treasure to pay Athalia tax with. And our own Denick has lifelink. Rafine blocks flyers, which seems very good to me. And there is the Itali. I think with one treasure, I will play it. The other thing is we could get Chandra. Chandra can kill Ow and something else, but then they get the trigger. Let's go for the DINO. DINO more fun. And the hit is a breach! Oh no, another Rafine. Auto pay, but we can't pay again. So if we hit another Itali, we can't cast spells. I'll take your Shieldred though. If we hit another Itali, we can't cast spells. I think that means we just take the Chandra. The opponent will attack it with Ow unless we kill Ow. So I think we have to try to do that. One, two, three, four. Bang and bang. What you got? You can put some counters on these, but they're on the ground. My creatures are ready to rumble. And get their own shilly. All right, if we attack, we can put a counter here, but then the opponent just blocks with shilly, so no attacks. Let the dueling Shieldreds duel. Well, we did the thing. Is it enough? Opponent wants to attack. I think that's a block with Itali. Force them to use Plaza? Or have another Shieldred? I could block with their Shieldred. I'm down with Itali hanging out in the yard. Yeah, they do have another one. Okay, we can double Brotherhood's End. How good is that? My Shieldred can also get aggressive. We could also try to hit another Breach the Multiverse. How many are left? And we're looking at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. None are left. Well, that affects things. We have Rafine. If we Brotherhood's End, it doubles. So everything would die. But if we get 2 counters on our Shieldred and it lives, our Shieldred would survive, but our Chandra would die. I don't love this. I think I'm better off plussing the Chandra and seeing if we hit. Even though the library is getting a little small. Cut down and it's doubled. Pretty cool.
I'm ending this fight.
One Denick down. We got a few to go, but it's a start. I'm not quite gonna die as long as they don't remove my Shieldred at instant speed. And I need 2 counters here for this to matter. So 1, 2, 3. I think they're gonna block Shieldred on Shieldred, then I play my own, right? Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, copy it. This ability only triggers once per turn. They take it all? They take it all. Okay. So on their turn, what resolves first? So if I cast Big Score on their turn, I'm in a pretty good spot. I want to discard my Shieldred and hit my land drop. It might be important. I have to be careful though. If they remove my Shieldred in response, bad things. Bad things. So if I draw 8 here, Am I dead if they kill my children? I think I am. Let's bait the hook. Would you like to respond? No? There's no way they have it then, right? There's no way they have it. There's no way. Okay. I don't know. I guess they decided to scoop to the big score. If they had a spot removal to kill my children, it's just over there. But I don't think they would have turned it down when I cracked the clue. And we are back for the post-game wrap. And I bet about 500 today. I think I'm like 6 and 5 trying the deck for the day. I definitely made some adjustments as I went. Liliana the Veil being the biggest, worst, I would say, trap that I fell into as I was playing the deck. This is not a deck for that card. So I had a few like deck building challenges, but for the most part, I would say getting unlucky. When you're on the draw and you miss your third land drop with 27 lands in your deck, it's cringy. That's when you just roll your eyes at the shuffle and move on. I think this deck is better than my record today, and I think if you're going to play Rakdos, I would play it like this in best of one because this is just more fun. Just honestly, I'm just looking to feel something in standard at this point because we're getting no new cards in standard until the fall, and when we do, we're not rotating anything, which is still, I am still just copium with that, and it's harder every day to cope with that, not gonna lie. So if I'm going to play standard, I'm going to try to find powerful things that are also fun and hopefully win enough that I don't tilt off in a rage. And this deck passed that bar. So if you're gonna play Rakdos, this is my recommendation. Today I went to the movies. I went to IMAX. I went into the IMAX. Has this ever happened to anybody else? Some of you are going to laugh at me and say I'm old, but I'm being dead serious. I went into the AMC IMAX for the Transformers movie. And when I walked in, I do this every week, by the way. I go to the same theater and I go to the IMAX almost every single week, sit in nearly the same seats. I have never once, not even during Dune, I've never said a movie was too loud. I sat down at this movie and the trailer, like the Oppenheimer trailer, was just not just shaking. It was at a decibel level where, like, you know how when somebody gets a new mic but they haven't like calibrated the gain yet and they haven't figured out how to use their filter, so like their mic is cracking all the time from like decibels being too loud, their mic is clipping. The theater was so loud it was shaking and clipping, and God, now you guys are going to laugh at me, you are going to call me a boomer, you're going to say I'm getting old, but I'm being serious. Has this ever happened to anybody else? Because it's never happened to me before. And I alerted staff, I alerted the manager. He said something about, yeah, they recalibrated it or something, and he went in and said he was going to change it. Nothing changed. And in the first screen of Transformers, just when they were like, Omnicron, something, destroy planet, blah, 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 right? And it was so loud, like they did like a Transformer effect. It like pierced my ears. They're still ringing a little. And my wife and I actually got out. We walked out. And we went into another one of the smaller theaters that was playing Into the Spideyverse, and we watched it again. We watched Into the Spideyverse again. And it was good. It was wonderful. It was a great movie. It wasn't too loud. So I'm not old, okay? This isn't me being a boomer. I'm serious. That's why I want to know in comments, has anybody else had the experience where the IMAX, in their opinion, was dangerously loud? Like, to the point where I thought I was going to hurt my ears. Anyway, after we finished Into the Spideyverse, we went to a regular showing of Transformers. Transformers, surprisingly decent. There didn't feel like a Michael Bay movie, which is a good thing. I think that Michael Bay had his time with the Transformers franchise and it needs to move past it, and it is. And I don't think you need to go to the theaters to see the new Transformers movie unless you absolutely love going to theaters like my wife and I do. I think you can wait for it to be on Amazon Prime or Netflix or some free service. But it's better than I thought it would be. Take that for what it is. The characters seem, down to earth, real characters instead of random supermodel in a small Texas town or something like that. And the story, the plot is kind of ridiculous. They basically have one plot and they use it 3 times in the same movie, but it's acceptable. And the fight sequences, was a huge problem with Transformers for years. At first it was cool, and then it got uncool really fast. You can't tell what's going on. It's just like the whole fight sequences are just a weird blob of Transformers transforming and untransforming. And this movie wasn't like that. You could follow the action, and it was good action sequencing, closer to like what you see in an Avengers movie, like a good Avengers movie. So I do recommend it. It's a little silly, but it is Transformers. The plot is way too similar to Care Bears 2 for the 80s kids. But so don't expect like great theater, but it's better than I thought it would be. So take that for what it is, and you can call me old in the comments if you want. But have you ever gone to IMAX and found it dangerously loud on that day? Because I've been going to IMAX movies for a decade, and that had never happened to me before. All right, I'm going to end this little ramble here, but you stayed till the end. Let me also know in the comments if you stayed till the end. I've been trying putting more ramblings in my outros, just more stuff about me, because some people seem to like it, but I always also look at my analytics that says that like 70 or 80% of you are gone by now, and that's very depressing, but something that helps combat that kind of what am I doing this for sadness is comments saying I stayed till the end. Also, when I meet you guys at Magic Cons and you're like, hey, I stayed till the end, I'm like, wow, thank you. That's cool. So yeah, let me know in the comments, and thank you, and I will see you in the next video. You're cool. The one in Best of One. Do you love him?
Oh, yeah.
Envy him?
Híjole, madre de Dios.
Despise him? Yet admire him? Whether you are a student of the dojo or a salty mono red scrub, head over to Moxfield, the official home for all of my deck lists. Whether you're here for standard, brawl, or both, see all of my deck lists from the videos on this channel. Study the curve, see an example hand, or do a virtual playtest. Whether you're trying to beat the one or study your sensei, find everything you need at Moxfield. Moxfield.com, the best site for Magic the Gathering decks on the internet.